Welcome back to Understanding Human Anatomy and our discussion of the hand. This video will concentrate on the thenar and hypothenar eminence, and I was debating whether to add to the diagram we had in the previous slide or previous video. And I decided that it was just getting too complicated. So I went back to scratch with the skeleton of the hand, and we'll just sketch these muscles in to this diagram. And comparing the two of them, I think you can see where everything goes, and the fact that it just got too complicated doing it on the same one. So I'm going to start with Flexor Pollicis Brevis. Flexor Pollicis Brevis. And Flexor Pollicis Brevis takes origin from the carpal bones and comes up to insert on the lateral edge of the proximal phalanx of the first digit. And let me color this muscle in. Like so. So this is Flexor Pollicis Brevis. And this is the first of the three muscles of the thenar eminence. Now the second muscle I will draw in is opponens. And opponens also takes origin from carpal bones. And it's right next to and somewhat overlapping Flexor Brevis. But opponens inserts on the lateral edge of the first metacarpal. So let me try and color this in. Okay, and this is opponens pollicis. Then the third muscle of the thenar eminence is the abductor pollicis brevis. And again, it takes origin down in the carpals. It comes up to insert onto the proximal phalanx, and it does overlap opponents quite a bit. So I'm going to take the quick way of coloring it in for much of it. This is the abductor pollicis brevis. The third of the muscles of the thenar eminence. Now, moving over to the other side, to the hypothenar eminence. Again, we're going to have three muscles, and they're going to be analogous to the muscles that we have in the thenar eminence. So what I'm going to do is draw them in using the same color as the analogous muscle on the thenar eminence side. I'm going to do them in a little bit different order, and all of them will have Digiti Minimi in the name for the fifth digit. Now, the first muscle I'm going to draw in is the opponens Digiti Minimi. So I'm drawing it in red like we did for the opponens pollicis. And let me color that in so it can be seen. And you can see it takes origin from the hamate bone, and it inserts onto the medial side of the fifth metacarpal. So this is opponens Digiti Minimi. Then, also taking origin from the hamate bone, is Flexor. Digiti Minimi Brevis. That's this muscle. Let me color it in. So, Flexor Digiti Minimi, Brevis. Then the third muscle is the abductor. And the abductor takes origin from the pisiform bone, which is not in view of the diagram. It's below the bottom of the diagram. So it takes origin down here and then comes up along the side to insert on the medial border of the fifth metacarpal. So let me color that one in for you. So this is the abductor Digiti Minimi. So the three muscles of the hypothenar eminence, opponens digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi brevis, and abductor digiti minimi. This concludes discussions of the muscles on the palmar side of the hand. In the next video, we'll look at the dorsal side of the hand and the extensor tendons and how the extensor tendons work. Thank you for your attention.